Alright, listen up. If you're watching this, you're probably feeling stuck right now. She's pulling away, the messages are becoming less frequent, maybe she's ghosted you completely, or even worse, she outright told you she's done. And now, that gut-wrenching feeling is creeping in. The panic, the voice in your head telling you, I have to fix this. So what do? You grab your phone, start typing that emotional text, or you think about calling her, hoping to get some kind of response. Maybe if you remind her of the good times, say the right thing, she'll snap out of it and things will go back to how they were. Let me stop you right there. That's the worst thing you can do. Chasing her, begging her, trying to convince her, it'll only drive her further away. But here's the good news. You don't have to fall into that trap. You don't have to lose yourself in this. The real power move here is completely different, and once you get it, not only will the whole situation change, but you'll see yourself and how women respond to you in a whole new light. Let me break it down for you. Point 1. The instinct to chase is completely wrong. Trust me, I know exactly what you're feeling right now. When someone you care about starts pulling away, your natural instinct is to chase after them, to try and fix things. It's human nature. We hate the feeling of distance, and our first impulse is to close that gap. But here's the cold, hard truth. That instinct is setting you up for failure. When a woman loses interest, she doesn't need more attention, she needs space. The moment you start texting her non-stop, bombarding her with double texts when she doesn't reply, checking her social media obsessively, or worse, showing up uninvited or lurking around her life, you're not pulling her back in. In fact, you're doing the exact opposite. You're confirming that her decision to pull away was the right one. Why? Because nothing kills attraction faster than desperation. I'm telling you right now, women don't respect men who chase them. It doesn't matter how much you care or how much you try to convince her. They don't feel drawn to guys who put them on a pedestal and beg for their attention. Women are attracted to men who have their own lives, their own purpose, and their own value. Men who have standards, men who know their worth and won't settle for anything less. What women truly respect are the men who can stand strong, who can walk away when they're not being valued, and who aren't afraid to lose someone who isn't fully invested. So, instead of chasing her, do the exact opposite. You disappear, you pull back, you give her space and let her feel the weight of what life is like without you in it. Here's the kicker. People only start to truly appreciate what they might lose. And if she has any real interest in you, any true connection, she'll begin to notice your absence. She'll start to wonder. She'll start questioning her decision. But here's the key. If she doesn't notice or doesn't care, that tells you everything you need to know. That's your answer. Either way, you win. Why? Because you're no longer chasing after someone who's unsure or uninterested. You're making room for someone who actually values you and wants to be with you, and that's real power. Quick break. The course has been reopened. In 6 days, it will close. Few spots left. For those who cannot afford it, I created a one-to-one chat with me. Choose your package and let's solve the problem you have with your girl together. Don't wait around thinking you have time. You don't. The girl you want? Someone else will take her if you don't learn these secrets, and you will be stuck wondering what went wrong. This is your chance to level up and leave your old self behind. This is the last time you'll get it at this price. Next time, it'll cost more. Time's running out. Don't let this opportunity slip by. Link in bio. Point 2. The power of no contact. Let me clear something up for you. No contact isn't some trick or mind game. It's not about playing a part or manipulating the situation. It's a shift in mindset, a powerful decision you make for yourself. It's about drawing a line and saying, I'm done chasing someone who isn't putting in the same effort for me. Trust me when I say, this is one of the most powerful moves you can make. Here's how it works. You stop reaching out completely. No texts, no calls, no checking her Instagram story, no liking her posts, and definitely no accidental run-ins or forcing situations where you're hoping to catch her attention. You step back from all of it. If she reaches out, don't fall for the bait. Don't immediately respond or engage in mindless small talk. You don't need to feed into the game. You stay focused on yourself, on your own growth, and on your own life. Why does this work? It's simple, really. When you're constantly available, when you're always the one reaching out, You become predictable. And here's the thing about predictability. It's boring. People take it for granted. You're always there, ready to answer the phone, to reply to the texts, to give attention whenever she decides to throw some your way. That predictability makes you less valuable in her eyes. But the moment you step back, you create space. And in that space, something interesting starts to happen. She starts to wonder. She wonders why you're not reaching out. She starts questioning whether she made the right decision, whether she misjudged you, or if she's losing something worthwhile. She begins to remember the good times, how you made her feel, the things that made her attracted to you in the first place, and whether she realizes it or not, curiosity turns into uncertainty. Now, does this mean she's guaranteed to come running back? Not necessarily, but that's not the point. The real power here is that you're reclaiming control. Instead of sitting around waiting for her to validate you, you're showing that you don't need her approval. You're not sitting on the sidelines hoping she'll change her mind. You're actively choosing yourself. Here's the hard truth. If she truly valued you, she will notice your absence. She'll feel that shift. That change in energy will be impossible for her to ignore. But if she doesn't reach out or show any sign that she cares, then you've got your answer. She was never truly invested in you to begin with, and that's where you win. Why? Because you're no longer chasing someone who isn't sure about you. Instead, you're creating space for someone who actually values you, someone who will appreciate what you bring to the table. Either way, you've taken control of the situation and you're moving forward. Point 3. What to do instead. Alright bro, so you've stopped texting her, you're not calling, and you're not chasing anymore. Good. But now you're probably sitting there thinking, alright, so what the hell do I do now? Simple. You focus on yourself. You use this time to build yourself up, to get stronger, sharper, and fully in control of your own life. First, let's talk about expanding your mind. Get into books that make you think. I'm not talking about boring textbooks or academic stuff. I mean books on psychology, business, personal growth, anything that challenges your thinking and helps you level up. When you start understanding how the world works, how people think, how to improve yourself, you begin to carry yourself differently. And trust me, people notice that shift. You'll start walking through life with a new confidence because you're no longer just going through the motions. You're actively growing and evolving, and that attracts people to you. Next, let's talk about upgrading your style. We all know the saying, when you look good, you feel good. And it's true. Go get a fresh haircut, invest in clothes that actually fit you and make you feel confident. Taking care of your appearance isn't about vanity, it's about self-respect. Confidence isn't just about mindset, it's also about how you present yourself to the world. When you look sharp, you'll carry yourself with more self-assurance, and people will naturally gravitate toward that energy. Then, improve your social skills. And no, I don't mean sliding into DMS on social media. I'm talking about going out, interacting with people in real life, building genuine connections. Don't just focus on meeting women. Meet new friends, build relationships with people who challenge you, who make you think differently, who push you to be better. Social confidence is a cheat code in life. It'll open doors for you in ways you can't even imagine. Now, let's talk about challenging yourself. Have you always wanted to learn how to fight? Sign up for boxing or martial arts. Have you always admired people who can play an instrument? Pick one up and start learning. Challenge yourself to go beyond what's comfortable. Growth happens when you push yourself into discomfort. Whether it's physical, mental, or emotional, pushing your boundaries is where the magic happens. That's when you really start to see what you're capable of. And finally, switch things up. If you've been stuck in the same old routine, break free from it. Take a solo trip, even if it's just for a weekend to a new city. Experience something different, create new memories. Life is all about stories, and you need to be the one creating them. Don't sit around waiting for things to fall into place. Take control, step out of your comfort zone, and start building the life you want. Because here's the thing, you are the priority now. You're not waiting, you're not hoping, and you're not clinging to the past. You're stepping into something better. You're stepping into your power. And the best part, when she sees you evolving, when she sees you living a life that excites you, she's going to feel it. She's going to wonder why you're not chasing her like she expected. That's when the power shifts back to you. When she sees that you're living your best life without her, that's when she'll start questioning whether she made the right decision. But at that point, it won't matter because you'll be living for yourself, not for her. And that's where real confidence comes from. That's when you stop chasing and you start attracting. Point 4, the importance of self-respect. Listen up, man. Self-respect is everything. It's not just about how you treat yourself, it's about the standard you set for everyone around you, including her. If a woman walks away from you and you go chasing after her, what are you really telling her? You're saying, it's okay to walk all over me, to disrespect me, to ignore me, and I'll still be right here waiting for you to come back. That's not strength, bro. That's weakness. And deep down, she'll pick up on that. Women are incredibly intuitive. They can sense when a man lacks self-respect. Think about it. If you're begging and pleading just to keep someone around, what does that say about you? It says you don't value yourself enough to walk away when you're not being treated right. A man who truly respects himself doesn't beg for attention or plead for affection. He doesn't hand over his dignity just to keep someone in his life. He knows that his worth isn't tied to whether someone stays or leaves. When you start internalizing that, when you genuinely believe that your value is not based on her approval, that's when everything changes. You see, when you carry yourself with unshakable confidence, people can feel it. Women feel it. They're drawn to it. And it's not because you're playing a game or acting like you don't care. It's because you genuinely know your worth. You're not seeking validation from anyone else. You know that your self-worth is not determined by whether someone chooses to be in your life or not. Self-respect is magnetic. It shows people that you have boundaries, that you're not willing to settle for less than you deserve. It lets others know that you value yourself and expect to be treated with the same respect in return. And that's a powerful thing. So stop giving your power away. Stop chasing someone who doesn't value you. Stop begging for their attention. Start respecting yourself first. When you do that, the right people will respect you in return. And those who don't, they're simply not worth your time. When you truly respect yourself, you don't need to chase. You attract. That's when you step into your full power, and the people who see you for who you are will come into your life naturally. Point 5. The bigger picture. Becoming unstoppable. Now that you understand the power of self-respect, let's take it even further. Because this isn't just about one girl. This isn't just about whether she comes back or not. This is about you stepping into the strongest, most unstoppable version of yourself. Most guys make the mistake of letting one rejection, one failed relationship, or one woman's opinion define their worth. That's a losing mindset. The moment you tie your value to whether or not someone wants you, you've already lost. But when you shift your focus, when you start building a life so full, so exciting, and so powerful that you don't need external validation, that's when everything changes. So here's what you do. Develop an unshakable purpose. Women are attracted to men with a mission, not men who make them their mission. What excites you? What drives you? Is it your career? A creative pursuit? A business idea? Go all in on something that fuels your passion and gives your life direction. Build an unstoppable mindset. Mental toughness is everything. Stop wasting time overthinking, doubting yourself, or fearing rejection. Understand that setbacks are part of growth. Every successful man has faced rejection, failure, and loss, but the difference is they kept moving forward. Master emotional control. The strongest men are not controlled by their emotions. They control their emotions. When you let heartbreak, frustration, or rejection dictate your actions, you become weak. But when you learn to stay calm, grounded, and unbothered, that's when you become unbreakable. Expand your social circle. Surround yourself with high-value people, men and women who challenge you, who inspire you, who push you to be better. Stop wasting time chasing people who don't appreciate you. Start focusing on the relationships that add real value to your life. Keep evolving. Growth never stops. Whether it's hitting the gym, learning a new skill, leveling up financially, or traveling the world, always be upgrading yourself. When you do that, you become a man who naturally attracts opportunities, success, and yes, women. Right now, it might feel like losing her is the worst thing that could happen. But here's what you need to realize. This is just one chapter in your story. You have two choices. 1. Stay stuck, chasing, overanalyzing, and obsessing over something that's out of your control. 2. Level up, focus on your growth, and become the kind of man who never has to chase, because he chooses who he allows in his life. This is your turning point. Are you going to waste time looking back, or are you going to step forward and become unstoppable? The choice is yours.